I never expected my quiet Saturday morning to turn into a full-blown neighborhood drama. It all started when my neighbor's dog, yes, the one with the ridiculously fluffy tail that looks like it could double as a cloud, ran straight into my yard, grabbed my kid's birthday balloon, and somehow knocked over a vase that my wife swore was grandma's heirloom. It wasn't, but she looked mad anyway. I'm still trying to figure out how a dog could cause $50 worth of destruction and set off a chain reaction that would involve every single adult within a 2-block radius. But let me back up a bit, because if I start at the chaos, you won't understand the full absurdity of it. So, it was my son Jamie's 7th birthday. We planned a tiny backyard party, balloons, a small bouncy castle from Amazon, a few friends, maybe some cupcakes if I felt like adulting that week. Nothing fancy, nothing over the top. I thought, this is easy. This is manageable. Famous last words. My neighbor Karen, who I swear has never experienced a moment of life that didn't involve passive-aggressively supervising everyone else's business, decided she had to be part of this birthday. And by part of this birthday, I mean she started sending me texts at 8 a.m., long before the party, about decor suggestions and how I could make Jamie's special day more Instagram-worthy. I ignored them. I was in the middle of setting up the bouncy castle, already questioning my life choices, when I saw her peering over the fence like a hawk. Then the dog happened. I swear, the dog is like a furry missile. One second it's in the yard next door, the next it's face first into my bouncy castle, sending balloons flying like confetti at a wedding. Jamie screamed, the cat ran under the porch, and I tripped over a garden gnome that apparently wanted to be part of the melee. Karen came running over, waving her hands like a traffic cop. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's never done that before. I wanted to respond, but honestly, there were bigger issues. The cake. The cake, which my wife and I spent $75 on from a local bakery, because apparently, we're monsters if we don't buy a cake with edible glitter and cartoon characters, had fallen face first into the grass. I looked down at it. The chocolate frosting had merged with dirt in a horrifying display of culinary defeat. I felt a mix of horror and weird admiration for the dog. Like, okay, yes, you've truly disrupted the natural order today. Then Karen did the thing. She offered to help. But helping in Karen language means she started rearranging the bouncy castle pegs her way, which involved her stepping on the slide while wearing wedge sandals. She slipped. I thought she'd break her ankle, but no, she fell backward, somehow landing in my kiddie pool fully clothed. Water went everywhere. My wife screamed. I yelled, stay in the water if you want, just don't touch the cake. By this point, other neighbors had started to notice. Jerry from 3 houses down, who's usually out mowing his lawn at 6 a.m., came strolling over with his coffee, squinting. What's happening here? I shrugged, because there wasn't a short answer. The dog, apparently proud of its accomplishments, trotted back and picked up one of the cupcakes, then ran off toward the street. Jamie chased after it, barefoot, slipping on the grass. His little legs were fast, but not fast enough, and the cupcake went flying into the neighbor's flower bed. Jamie! I yelled. Stop. That's Mrs. Carlson's tulips. Meanwhile, Karen emerged from the pool, dripping like a soggy toast, and started lecturing me about how safety precautions weren't taken seriously enough. My brain officially shut down around that moment. I think I said something like, Karen, the cake is dead, the cupcakes are at war with the dog, and Jamie is barefoot. What exactly can't we handle right now? Then came the icing on the chaos, the photographer. I hired a local photographer just to snap some cute pics. He shows up, camera in hand, trips over the hose that somehow appeared under the bouncy castle, and drops the camera. Lens cracked. He sighs, muttering about another wedding-level disaster. I honestly didn't even know he was still standing there. I was trying to salvage Jamie's sanity, wrestle Karen from my pool, and retrieve the dog from the neighbor's tomato patch. At this point, someone, I swear I still don't know who, called the fire department because the chaos looked like a small domestic explosion from the street. A fire truck actually arrived. 2 firefighters peeked over the fence. I waved sheepishly. Jerry's coffee went flying because he somehow got involved in trying to catch the dog. Karen shrieked again. Jamie cried. My wife threw her hands in the air. The photographer yelled something that sounded like, "Why did I leave my house?" And here's the kicker. As everyone was staring at this absurd spectacle, the dog, the perpetrator of all this chaos, managed to climb back onto my porch, sniff the destroyed cake, and settle down like nothing had happened. Calm, proud, triumphant. By the end of the day, the party was a mess. Most of the kids were crying. Half the adults were trying to apologize to each other. Karen had dried out enough to start critiquing the theme of the party. Jerry was muttering about suing the HOA if we didn't control the dog. And me? I was questioning every single life choice that led to this moment, from having kids to buying a house near Karen. The weird part? Jamie had the best day of his life. In a messy, chaotic, horrifying way, it was unforgettable. He kept saying, "Best birthday ever," while icing was stuck in his hair and dirt on his shoes. And as I collapsed onto the soggy lawn, staring at the sunset, I realized something profound. Sometimes life doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes a dog, a neighbor, and a cake can turn your Saturday upside down. But somehow, amidst all the chaos, it turns into the kind of story you tell for years, especially if you need material for Reddit.